But
hey,
man,
Kevin,
fucking, did you
since we don't talk very often, Kevin, I really do want to know what's going on. One, when are you going to return to YouTube? We need to know that because I need more content, Kevin. Remember, I can't make good content without you. Kevin. According to the squirrels in the comments, my YouTube sucks without talking about you. So I need you to come back to YouTube, Kevin, so I can make fun of you again. That's the only way I get views, bro.
It comes
by the 15th.
There you go. Okay, so Kevin will be here by the 15th. Okay, good.
Let's go ahead and get right into it. So you could clearly see from that video that I just played that Meet Kevin is apparently making his return to YouTube on September 15th. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about that and give my perspective. But first, let me go ahead and put this entire situation into context, okay? So I did a live stream this past Sunday, and Meet Kevin actually ended up joining that live stream via the chat. He did not come on camera or anything like that, but he was in the chat. He started off by just saying, yo, what's up? And then everybody made a big deal that he was in the chat. And then I said, okay, let me just go ahead and ask him some questions while he's here, because obviously Meet Kevin and I do not talk at all. So I used that as an opportunity to ask some questions, right? One of the questions that I asked Meet Kevin was, hey, when are you returning back to YouTube so I could get back to making fun of you and making videos? Because according to the squirrel posse in the comments, I cannot make good content or get views on my videos unless I talk about Meet Kevin, which is false, by the way. Just go look at the Everything Money video I just released. That video is doing very well. As a matter of fact, in terms of my YouTube analytics, it actually says that it's a 1 out of 10. Most content creators know what that means, okay? So stop hating and either follow me or don't, okay? Now, anyway, so Meet Kevin commented, right? He said he's coming back on September 15th. And first, let me just say this, okay? I give him his credit. I did not think he'd be able to go however long he's went, freaking 12 days without posting on YouTube, or however long it's been. Yeah, 13 days. I didn't think he'd be able to go 13 days without posting on YouTube. I never thought that I'd see the day. Obviously, the guy makes a crap ton of money every time he posts a video, sponsorships, ad revenue, the courses, you name it. But I got to give him his credit, okay? Because we all know for a fact that not only is Meet Kevin addicted to making the money, which I completely understand. Don't get me wrong. That's justified. But he's also clearly addicted to YouTube. So for him to be able to break his addiction in order to really focus on this Series A is a good sign. One of my main criticisms about him is he focuses too much on YouTube. It's hard to do other ventures when you're so when you're so dead on focused on YouTube, okay? This reminds me of when he ran for governor. Now, I was very adamant. Now, I didn't have a YouTube channel back then when he ran for governor, but when I made my commentary on it, I was very adamant on the fact that there's no way you're going to be able to have a full-time YouTube and be governor of an entire state. It just doesn't work like that. Clearly, he's learned his lesson from that, and he now understands that if he's going to really be able to successfully launch this Series A and do it correctly, he's going to have to take a break from YouTube. That's just how the game goes. You can't have YouTube 24/7 when you're going after other endeavors. Sometimes you got to make sacrifices, and sometimes even things that you're passionate about has to take a back seat for the greater good, and in order for you to elevate your life and your dreams, okay? So I do give him his credit for that. I never thought in a million years that this guy would take a 13-day break from YouTube. Now, obviously, he's still doing his course member live streams and all those different things, but still, for him to not be on YouTube, that's pretty impressive. Got to give him his credit on that, okay? Now, Meet Kevin said that he's going to return on September 15th. Let me tell you what I think. Well, I guess he said by the 15th, which was very careful wording and smart, because if you want my honest opinion, I thought that CPI was on the September CPI, folks, the Consumer Price Index. I thought the CPI comes out on September 15th, which would have made sense because he's very adamant about that. The whole CPI thing, he gets a lot of views when he does those live streams on that. And he also, that's a big part of like his investment thesis is like inflation in the CPI. So when I looked it up and I saw that CPI actually gets released on September 13th, that told me that, okay, there's got to be a range. So I think he's probably going to return. What week is it? It's the 8th today. I think he's for sure going to return to YouTube next week, okay? I think he's either going to come back on the 15th like he actually told me in his live, which is possible, or more likely he's probably going to come back somewhere around the time of CPI, right? That makes more sense because that's just the guy's style. So he may come back on September 12th, which is Monday. And he might do an actual preview. You know those videos he does where he's like, watch before tomorrow, watch before Tuesday. You know, he normally does those type of videos. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually returned to YouTube on September 12th and did his whole watch before tomorrow videos, which those get a lot of views too. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he made an actual live stream on September 13th of Tuesday in order for the actual CPI data that comes out. I would not be surprised. So that's what I honestly think. I think it's either going to be, he's either going to come back on Monday, September 12th. He's probably going to do a live stream on September 13th. And then he's probably going to, or he might actually come back on September 15th, which is what he actually said, which is really hard to believe because it's really hard to believe he's going to miss CPI. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see the guy back next week on Monday doing his watch before tomorrow videos or whatever. And so that's what I think regarding that. Now, in terms of him coming back and how he's going to do, I see that he changed his little profile picture, so I guess he's rebranding a little bit. I don't know exactly how this whole thing is going to work, but I would assume that if he's an actual financial advisor, him launching all these ETFs and these Series A's, I'm sure he can still come on YouTube, kind of like how you see Kathy Wood come on YouTube and Ross Gerber and some of these other people. I'm sure he could come on YouTube, but I think he's probably going to be a lot more careful of what he says. I think with him launching these ETFs, I don't think he's going to be able to just downright pump stocks the way that he was doing in 2021. For those who don't remember, he was pumping a bunch of just god-awful, horrible, dookie in the booty, trash, stepped-on meatball penny stocks. It was a sight to see. He was pumping EXPI and Redfin and Matterport and I don't even know, Shift Technologies and Outlet and just all this trash and just utter garbage that just got his followers absolutely murder, she wrote, in their portfolio. So I think one thing that we are going to see when Kevin comes back is we're going to see a little bit of a different person. Now, I could be totally wrong. He could come back with the freaking Mario hat and the lab coat, calling himself the stock doc and all that cringe foolishness he was doing in 2021. He could very well come back and be right back onto the same antics, but I don't think he will because of the ETF thing. I think him with the ETFs and the Series A, I think he could actually get in some real legal trouble if he comes back on YouTube and he goes back to the same antics. So don't be surprised if when he comes back, he really does just stick to like the news or his outlook on the market, kind of like a Ross Gerber or Kathy Wood do. I mean, don't get me wrong. He can talk about stocks, but he can't just outright pump them the way that he was. Because like I said, I never see Ross Gerber or Kathy Wood really pumping stocks. I guess technically Ross Gerber pumps Tesla, but I guess that's kind of a different story. Ross Gerber also doesn't have the following that Kevin does. So can he really pump anything? I don't really know. But anyway, I guess that's it. Yeah, those are my thoughts regarding Kevin coming back. That's what I honestly think, guys, about when he will come back and how that whole thing will happen. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.